right. All right. At this time, the remaining items from here on are not broadcast on the city's YouTube channel or cable channel 25. So I'll give us about buffer 10 seconds or so. All right. Moving on to item K, open public comment. The public is allowed to speak on issues or items that are not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the commission make decisions or items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments. Public comment here in the room.
You guys see the news? Your deputy district attorney lost his fucking mind. Maybe somebody should inquire with him about Crown Act, since he decides it's funny to wear somebody's crown around and make fun of people. The point that you guys need to understand from this is his behavior is not uncommon. He just got caught. We've been dealing with that kind of crap around here for a long time, and you guys have allowed it to happen. You've allowed it to happen. You guys starting to figure things out yet? You guys starting to figure out the score here? Been about 4 years. I'm not going away. Been about 4 years. He's not going away. Now you got the two of us together. And it's funny how when there's another camera there, lies can't get made up. You guys, I think Miss Larson was at the DA forum for a little while. Maybe she might have heard a little bit about what happened there. Courtney Shipley, a number of years ago, appointed somebody to the police review board named James Minor. His wife Ursula, big people in the NAACP. From what I understand, their kid's called Tuna Tyler because he's got some tuna obsession that they've made a big deal about on some reality television. We'll get into that later. But the reality is the guy that ran the community police review board that fell flat on its fucking face in here could not understand viewpoint discrimination. I tried to tell you people that those people did not understand our rights. I tried to tell you. This man thought it was okay to bully him and to bump up against him, make physical contact with him a number of times, trying to bully him into not booing when other people were allowed to clap. Viewpoint discrimination. Sure, Mr. Finkeldine knows that. He's an attorney. You should know that. You're the damn city manager. But viewpoint discrimination has been allowed to trail on around here for too long. And now it's suddenly coming to an end. Because your DA tried to play it, your former community police review board, you guys need to let that sit home. That your police review board guy, the guy that we were expecting to have some kind of an accountability for the violation of our constitutional rights, and you wonder why that board failed and flopped on its face? You guys blamed it on me. Remember? Do you remember, Craig, blaming it on me and my public comments? We don't remember any of that, do we? Your own police review board members can't identify discrimination, and they think it only applies to them and their black skin.
I went ahead and filed a complaint against James Minor too for making contact with me while he was trying to silence me during that meeting there, that forum there. Battery charges. We'll see if they will press charges or not. If they'll file charges or not. My name is Dr. Justin Spees. Yesterday, July 1st, LJ World had an article with the headline, "City of Lawrence Sues Landlord, Alleges Violation of Source of Income Ordinance." Landlord says, "See you in court." It's got a picture of her, Sue Herrick, standing right here where I'm speaking right now at the city commission meeting with her husband over her shoulder in that picture there. Same day, Lawrence Times article headline: City of Lawrence files case against landlord for alleged source of income discrimination. Same thing, photo of Sue Herrick here at the city commission meeting. I got a question about that. Do you guys have anything to do with the timing of that article coming out? That lawsuit has been filed, I think, months ago, and nothing has changed since then. And all of a sudden it comes out. You guys know anything about why that is? Have anything to do with that? LJ World, why did that article just come out now, months later? I don't think it's a coincidence to have not only the timing of that article come out now, but also shows that it's no secret that Sue and Joe and myself will come to these meetings and oppose you guys and your views, and do it in a manner that you all don't like. And I don't think it's a coincidence that, and same thing with Michael Irby there, that the people that stand up openly in public and voice their criticisms of you find themselves in legal warfare with you guys, or actual criminal justice warfare with you guys. Sends a powerful message to the community. Use your voice, face the consequences. And there's serious consequences. One other thing, you guys stop broadcasting general public comment on here, and when you would used to post it onto YouTube, you guys would get hundreds of views. Now you guys are getting tens of views on your meetings. Meanwhile, Lawrence Times is putting all of this up on their website or on their YouTube channel, and they're getting hundreds of views. Community doesn't want to hear from you guys. They want to hear from the people. You're silencing the people. And you're doing a damn good job by moving it to the end of the meeting of deterring the people who are coming in and using their voices, their God-given right.
I'm Chris Flowers. I agree with that last statement about what you're doing with public comment, but I'm going to take a break from it this week. I just want to talk about the Supreme Court, what they did with their ruling about that it's okay for cities to ban the homeless that don't have a place to go from sleeping on public property, I guess. I haven't. I did a bad job. I didn't actually read, but I heard it was divided along political lines, where the Republicans voted to allow cities to ban, and the Democrats were the ones saying it was unconstitutional. But if that's true, I was just wondering where you all stand. Are you going to stand with the ones who say it's okay for cities to ban the homeless from sleeping on public property? Or are you going to stand with the ones who are saying it's unconstitutional? Especially, I mean, if it was divided along political lines, I just find it interesting. We have 4 Democrats and 1 Republican, and I'm just genuinely curious, because I think it also said, but cities can not, like, they don't have to ban, they can let people sleep if they want. So it is up to you. And I don't want to hear, like we've heard before, well, we can't enforce the ban because of that Supreme Court decision. But now you can't hide behind that decision, or you're going to have to make the decision for yourselves. And that's what I am going to challenge you to that, because I think this community deserves a straight up honest answer, and not we're going to keep the ordinance, but we're just going to selectively enforce it. I think that's a bunch of bullshit if you go that route. So I'm challenging you to either start enforcing the ban or get rid of the ban, but don't be saying we're going to keep the ban, but we're just going to sometimes enforce it and sometimes not. That's kind of bullshit. Also, I had this other idea. I don't even know if this is possible, but I was just thinking about how when it comes to like these rising property taxes, and wanting to keep seniors in their homes. Is there any way where the city could not charge property tax on a property, but then when the person dies or they go to sell it, the property gets put into like affordable housing where the next person has to keep it affordable? Is that something we could legally do? I'm just saying it's something to maybe think about. How can we do something like that? Thank you.
Damn good idea. Community Affordable Housing Trust.
Hi, it's me again, Dominic. I'm just here to kind of give you guys some like information about the new Boston Crossing because I don't know if this information's really been disseminated pretty frequently or like since you guys approved the rezoning. I wanted to give the update. We are waiting for the Army Corps of Engineers to come back with a 404 permit. It's taking quite a bit of time, which we are excited about because there's a lot of information that needs to be given when destroying wetlands. And I want to reiterate again that this development is going to obliterate about 5 acres of wetlands that is directly north of the Wakarusa River. If you guys don't know, yesterday the Wakarusa River was almost up to 19 feet when we look at the gauge that is directly upstream of the Baker wetlands, and that is considered above the action stage. The flooding stage is considered 23 feet, and then like really bad flooding is like 28 feet. And we have seen the 28 feet level pretty recently. It was actually in 2019 when we had that disaster that was going on in our southwestern portion of Douglas County with a lot of folks around the Washington Creek being flooded out and having to leave their houses, or having to have the state and the county pay money to buy out the houses in the area because of the flood risk being too large. So I just want everybody to kind of think about, if we're already seeing the creek go up to, call it the creek, it's really a river. If we call it the river going up to 19 feet, as it is happening when there's already these wetlands available and there's no impervious cover to the development, how much further do you think that river can go up? It's directly upstream of the Baker wetlands. One of my friends is at the Baker wetlands and he showed me these videos and they're getting flooded out, which that's what a wetland does. It does mitigate part of that, but how much more can also the wetlands take before we start to have other complications, because the wetlands is also near other developments and other, areas. I do want to again point out to the H&H study, this we believe was an illegitimate study because it did not take into the current floodplain regulations and did not abide by this. Recently, we did find out that there's been a couple of like weird things happening behind the scenes that, again, the public doesn't have any access to this. And I do think that floodplains are something that the public should have access. I mean, whether or not you're living on the portion that is upstream or downstream of the floodplain or the river, the development, whatever you want to call it, it's going to affect all of us. I don't get to have any access to talk about or challenge any of this inside of the city code because I don't own land. Unfortunately, I have not been blessed with the ability to own land because I can't afford it. But I also don't have any jurisdiction to challenge any of this, even though the floodplain, if it does get destroyed and we have further floods, I'm going to be affected because whether or not I have like financial interest in the plot of land, I pay taxes still in some form or another to the city, to the county, to the state, to the federal government, which is going to have to give us money back when we have another flood that is going to happen, similar to the 2019, or God forbid, a 1993 flood that is on our horizon. We live between two rivers, and I just really want to advocate that we think about the floodplain. Thank you.
All right. Sherry, any public comment on Zoom?
Stephen Watts.
Hi. Wow. These guys are finding out what time it is, and that reality is civility just doesn't cut it in getting anything done. It really doesn't. I hope our friends in Germany are watching so they can understand how uncivil Ms. Sellers is, given the reality. She goes to Germany, and yet she refuses to meet with local people over the course of 3+ years. And I want to give a shout out to my buddies in Newton and Hamburg and the FTA digital and SSB communication field, because I know that they're watching. Incredible, just incredible. There's time to fly off to these destinations, but there isn't time to meet with people locally. That's just not right. But it's the way it is. It's been that way for a long, long time. What is this jive with with the video man showing the shot clock on certain people. There it goes. See, he's up there. Thank you. Never happened before. Guy plays around with the video, so here out in Zoom land, the video changes, the image changes in terms of when you're on a screen or not. This anymore is just a game coming in here and doing this because the deck is stacked. And we've got the good doctors in here wanting their golf lifestyle all set up. I don't blame them. Absolutely. They have a right to have civility in their neighborhood and which they have been accustomed to. Incredible. Just incredible. And it'll be curious to see if the people with the money have more sway than the people without any money in terms of where the vote's actually going to go. And I am aware, in changing gears, that there is already a land trust deal, and supposedly, what is that? Tenants to homeowners? Yeah, them guys. I don't remember the name of the operation, but that land trust. And when people buy the houses, yes, the prices are semi-fixed. The problem with that model, however, is that the land underneath the houses is leased. The people who buy the houses don't own the land. And so when the board of directors change and the votes change and new people come in, that land can get sold. Oh, yes, it can happen. I've seen it happen. At any rate, it's a solution in some respects. It has a great deal of merit. Where are these police reports, and why are the police being allowed to not provide information? I expect to see those reports in there on a monthly basis, like the charter and all of the data inside the town says, the civil process. Why are they being excused? Thank you.
Sherilyn Wells.
Hold on, Sherilyn. Excuse me, everyone here in the room, if you could keep down your conversations or quiet them until after the meeting, I'd really appreciate it. Acoustics in here are pretty interesting, so we can usually hear a lot of what you're saying. So thank you. Appreciate it. Sherilyn, go ahead.
A question that I would like basically to understand is, okay, so they're preventing some evictions, but how many evictions actually happen in Lawrence? And how many people are put into housing that then are put back out fairly shortly? Because I think I've seen some people that, I don't know how to describe this, but people put with mental illness put into housing, they're by themselves. And I've had a landlord, I mean, I want everybody to get housing, but I've had a landlord show me where some people with mental illness have ripped the apartments up. And what you, Bert Nash or somebody, can do to keep people from being put into apartments and then ripping them up, like making the plumbing not work or ripping off cabinets or punching holes in the wall. I think that's one reason why people are hesitant to rent to people on Section 8. I mean, there are people that are on Section 8 that are perfectly capable of keeping up a property. But I know that it is a problem, what I'm talking about. Thank you.
That's all the comments, Mayor.
Okay. All right. I would entertain a motion.
Move to adjourn.